Hello everyone, good morning all of you, and let's begin. I hope that my voice is audible to you and screen is also visible. So is it audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, fine. So in today's class, what we people are going to look, it will be about making presentations. So how to make a presentation and how to deliver it. That things we people will be looking here in today's class. So in previous class, we people have talked about that pronunciation, intonation, stress, and rhythm. So by improving all those things, now you people are going to prepare presentations, and you're expected to deliver it in front of maybe different people are there. It can be your friends, it can be your maybe classmates, maybe teachers, maybe as an employee you people have to present your presentation in front of your colleagues. Maybe there are some representatives from different organizations, maybe your boss is there, or there are different people that you people are going to present your presentation in front of them. So therefore we should try to learn how we can make it better. So whatever you know right now, I hope that all you people might have done MSIT or triple C. Have you done some courses, computer courses like MSIT or triple C, something like this?
Yes, sir.
So there, I think that you might have come across with how to make PPTs, PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so by preparing this, now we wanted to make it better. Might be you are preparing it, but how we can make it better and how to present it better. Important is not only making, not only preparing presentation, but how we can present or deliver it in a better way. That is very important, because based on your presentation so many things will be considered, that how and your communication, how you can convey your thoughts to other people, and your business ideas, and so many things are there in fact that will be understood. And there are chances that you can become successful in your professional life, that based on your performance, your boss may be going to give you promotion, and so many things will be based on those things. So let's try to become better, because this is one of the professional skills. To have better presentation skills, it means that you're going to have better professional growth there. So let's begin with this. So presentation skill is an essential in almost every field. So I just told you people that it is in every field. Maybe you are right now a student. As a student also, you people have to make it better. That you should always try to speak, or always try to give your ideas. So many people are there that they have some ideas, but they are not able to express them. And in fact, this should be in English. Right now, you people are struggling with English. Maybe you are not clear with your grammar and vocabulary, and still you feel that I'm not confident in English. So if you're thinking like this, I would like to tell you that it is not like that. I'm sure that you people can speak English, and it is quite simple, and it is just lack of practice only. If you practice, if you speak a little bit today, and I'm sure that if you continue this habit maybe for 1 week, you'll feel confident enough that yes, I can speak English. So don't think that because of language, because of English, you are not able to give presentation. It is not the case. In fact, you can do whatever you like. So just keep expressing yourself whenever you get a chance. So maybe when you people will go into second year, third year, or in final year, whenever there is a chance to participate in any of the activities, maybe there is function, maybe event, any program is there, so you people take lead, participate in it, and try to express yourself. If there is speech competition, don't think that why should I participate, I'm not going to get any prize. So don't participate for prize, but you just try to express yourself there. So always participate in such events. So it is important in every field, every stage. So maybe you're student, you are going to become professional manager, whatever you may be, at every stage presentation skills are important, and each role. So what role can be, as a student also, an employee also, a group leader, and or administrator also, you people are expected to make presentations and deliver presentations. So that is what you people are expected um, to do in your professional and in personal life as well. Okay, administrator in a corporate world or business house. So what is corporate world, what is business house? That whenever you people will be just starting working somewhere, so that time you people will be part of this business world. So anywhere you, it may be corporate world, it may be a software company, it may be any of the company that you will be part of this business house or corporate world, and there you people will prepare a lot of presentations and you will deliver them. So presentation may be in front of a colleague, a boss, a client. So it can be anyone. Don't think of the person who is in front of you. It anybody can be. It may be your colleague, maybe friend, maybe your teachers, maybe students, maybe your client or anybody. And why you are giving presentations? Because you wanted to convey, you wanted to instruct, you wanted to guide, motivate, or convince a various business activities and work situations. So purpose may be anything, that there is some new product which is launched by your company, there is new service which is launched by your company, and you wanted to promote them, and so therefore you are giving presentation. And there are some clients, so clients means there are customers, or there are some common people in front of them, you are giving presentation. Or it may be for instructions, so there are some employees and you are a team leader or you are a manager, so you wanted to give some instructions to your employees, so in that case you have made a presentation and you can deliver it. Or you wanted to guide someone that how to do a particular thing, in that case you can make presentation and you can guide them. Or you wanted to motivate your colleagues, or you wanted to motivate the employees. Suppose that you are now manager, you are CEO, or you are the promoter, or you are the boss of the company, okay, and you wanted to motivate your employee to do more work, better work, and so you can make presentation and you can deliver it. Or you wanted to convince, something is there that you wanted to tell to your people and they should listen to you, in that case you are going to convince. So there are a lot of business activities which are related to that presentation, and it is expected, and work situation also. So these are the, you need to understand that you people have to go through these things. Presentation is must for you. It is not always that you people just think of interview and group discussion only, but you people can think of this also, that at later stage of your career you people are expected to go through such presentations also. A presentation may be oral or oral with audio visual aids for greater impact. So what do you mean by oral presentation, and what do you mean by presentation with audio visual aids? Who will tell me what is oral presentation and presentation with audio visual aids? Unmute and tell me. Oral presentation. First of all, tell what is oral presentation.
We are explaining about something orally.
Okay, we are explaining something, but it is with speaking only. Okay, you're speaking here only. And then what will be audio visual aids? If you're giving
With
presentation,
videos or presentation we had.
yes, yes, you're right. So when you are using this audio visual aids, there will be a greater impact. And if you're only speaking, if you're just don't have any kind of presentation, you are not sharing your screen, or you're not maybe showing any kind of audio that is for listening, visual for watching for our eyes. So with the help of audio visual aids, you can create a better impact. And what you can add in audio visual aids, it can be PowerPoint presentation, it can be video, it can be audio, it can be picture, it can be sign, it can be symbol, it can be anything that you can add that you wanted to show to your audience, and it will create greater impact. So whenever you people henceforth, if you are going to give presentation, always be ready with audio visual aids. Don't give oral presentation. So what will happen if you are giving oral presentation? In oral presentation, immediately your audience is going to be tired of. They will become bored. They will not listen to you, because if you are speaking continuously and there is nothing that they can look at, so they will be, their attention span is limited. Maybe for first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they will be paying attention, but after 10 to 15 minutes they will lose their concentration and they are not paying attention. But something is there, if there is in front of their screen is there, some pictures, images, videos, audios, charts, graphs are there, then they will try to pay attention. So for creating greater impact, use audiovisual aids in your presentation. An effective presentation indicates presenter's knowledge, confidence, logical thinking, and interpersonal skills. So when you give presentation, so that time what points you are showing to your audience, or what audience will look for presenter? So how much knowledge a presenter has. So you have to be knowledgeable. You might have studied a lot, you might have searched a lot, different books, magazines, articles, newspaper, websites, videos, etc. You might have gone through for making this presentation. Then only you will be knowledgeable. Otherwise, simply if you're downloading content from internet and you are showing them to your audience will come to know that presenter's knowledge is not up to date, or adequate knowledge is not there. So you just be first of all studious, study a lot, and then only make presentation. Don't be superficial. Then if you have studied, if you have knowledge, then it will it will result into confidence, and it will be seen through your presentation. And see, if you're prepared, of course there will be confidence, and if you are not prepared, your confidence will also show. Your audience can feel that this presenter is not having confidence, and whatever points views he is presenting, it is without confidence. Then your logical thinking, how you're thinking, that will be also evaluated by your audience, and your interpersonal skills as well. So do you know what are interpersonal skills? Anyone? Interpersonal skills.
Interaction and communication skills with people.
Yes, you're right. That interaction and that communication with other people. Suppose that there are audience, and you're giving presentation, and you're not thinking of your audience. You're thinking of your content only and your presentation only. Will it be interactive? Will it be people involved in this presentation? No, not at all. So you have to involve your audience into your presentation. So you have to ask them some questions. You have to just appreciate. You have to just give them some tasks. You have to ask some simple questions to them, and you have to make them speak simply. So this is interpersonal skills, and interpersonal skills is again the part of soft skills. So you need to know how you can ask them, how you are involving them in your presentation. It should not be that I have seen number of people, they're just giving presentation, or maybe in class also you might have felt that there is one way communication only. So maybe people are speaking and only they are speaking. They're not allowing others to speak. They're not asking any simple questions also, and they're not thinking whether audience are with them and they're understanding it or not. So it should not happen. So when you people will be making presentations, or when you will be delivering presentations, so at that time you people have to think that you are with your audience. You're thinking whether they are understanding you, whether they are with you, whether you are involving them, whether you are showing something to them and you're asking something to them. In that case, it will be interpersonal skills. So you work on your interpersonal skills also. When you are giving, maybe it may be for 2 minutes or 5 minutes also. Within that 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you just ask them whether they're understanding. Is it right? Am I right? Or is it simple? Something like this. Questions may be simple. Questions are not for checking their knowledge, but questions are just for making them active and alert and participative in your presentation. So that is what all uh, the audience will look for. Okay, I hope that you people are with me and you're getting it, because I'm teaching you presentation skills. So I think that my students, as an audience, you should be again here. So are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So it should not be only few students are replying. All students need to be again active and alert. So let me know. Rutuja, roll number 7. Is it audible, Rutuja, to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Nice. Then we'll go to the next part of this presentation, and you people will just see that some guidelines are here. So we people will go through these guidelines and it will help you. So let's see guidelines for effective presentation. So one must remember 4 P's of presentation skills. So what are these 4 P's? So let's go through this. First of all, first P is planning. So what you have to do? You have to plan your presentation. Without planning, nothing happens. Not only about presentation, but everywhere. If you're thinking, doing anything, you have to plan first. And if you're planning, then it is effective way to execute them. And without plan, if you're doing something, it may not be effective. So whatever, maybe your studies, you plan your studies. So how many days are there, and how many subjects are there, which subjects you need to give more time, how much hours you get in a day. What is this? All these things, if you're doing like this is planning. And if you're doing a planning of your studies, I'm sure that your studies will be again simple, and it will not be that pressure and burden on you, because you are dividing these things into different parts, and accordingly you are doing something. So plan must be there for everything. And this is planning is the part of any organization. There is no any organization which do not have any kind of planning. Okay, so this is part of your again professional life. So again, not only professional but in your personal life also, whatever you wanted to do, just say that you wanted to do something in your personal life also, then plan, make a plan of everything and accordingly try to go through, then revise your plan. It is not that once you made plan and that's final plan. No, you have to revise your plan, you have to go through twice thrice, and whenever there are changes, you have to make changes in your plan and accordingly you have to execute it. So in case of presentation also, first thing is planning. So first P is about planning, then second P is there. So what is this second P about? It is about preparation. Again, preparation is required. If you're not preparing, again, it will be difficult. That only planning is not sufficient. Okay. So with that plan, you have to prepare also. So how preparation will be there, we people will be looking next. Then number 3 P is it's about practice. Okay. If you feel that something is difficult, then you have to practice it, and with practice it will become simple. If you want to become master of something, you have to simply keep practicing things and you can become master. If you want to become expert in something, you can become expert only if you practice it. So if you want to become a good presenter, what you should do, you have to practice a lot. So that's why I told that whenever you get an opportunity to participate into such situations, the people have to take this chance, the people have to grab this opportunity and be always active and participate in such things which will develop your presentation skills. So practice a lot, and I hope that all of you know the popular proverb that practice makes man what.
Perfect.
Yes. So all you people have to write down somewhere. Practice makes man perfect, and always think of it. Whenever, whatever you wanted to do in your life, in personal life, professional life, or wherever, if you want to become a or an expert driver, let's take an example. If you want to become an expert driver, so if you're driving it daily, I'm sure that you're going to become expert driver. If you want to become a pilot and you wanted to fly an aeroplane, I'm sure that with practice you can become a pilot also. And anything, let's take an example of anything. If you want to become a fluent speaker, if you practice every day, I'm sure that one day you'll be fluent speaker of English. And whatever, accordingly, if you want to become a good person, good engineer, or whatever the skills, technical skills, I'm sure that with practice only you can become master and expert in this field. So let's think of presentation also. With practice you are going to become a good presenter, so let's practice it. And last one is your performance. Last P is about performance. So you have to perform well. So whenever you are doing whatever the, if you just to take care of these 3 things, I'm sure that you will do better here. If you take care of first 3 P's, your last P will be best. So performance again matters, that actual you are going giving presentation, so that time how you are going to perform, that all those things we people will be looking for. Okay, so let's begin with first one, that is planning. A presenter should always plan a simple, clear, well organized and lively presentation. So think of your topic first of all. It should be simple to you, and you have to make it simple for your audience also. It should not be that you are making it very complicated, or you're trying to impress your audience by saying something that your audience does not understand. So think of yourself first, what you're chosen as a topic, that should be very simple, and you're going to make it simple for your audience as well. Then it should be clear to you. So what exactly you are going to tell to your audience, it should be clear to you, and make it clear to your audience also. Then well organized, then you have to organize that your presentation, and it should be lively presentation again. So lively presentation, it means again that it should be interactive, it should be communicative, it should be that people have participated in your presentation, they're asking you some questions. If nobody's asking question, then it is difficult. I think that they understand everything or they're not understanding anything. So there should be lively presentation. You make your audience uh, participative in your presentation. He or she should plan the content, flow, and style of presentation. So first thing, that's just plan. So it is everything how you should plan, what you should plan. You should plan the content first of all. So what content you are going to add in your presentation, then flow of presentation. So flow indicates that first this, then this, then this, and then this, and at the end this. Something like this you are going to decide this flow. And style of presentation, style something like whether it will be oral, whether it will be oral with audiovisual aids, and what things, what additional you are going to give in your presentation, that will be style of your presentation. Then next is use of language. So use of language does not mean that whether English, Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil. Of course, you people just think of only one, and that will be English, because this is your professional life. And here you people just think of English language, but English language you have to make it very simple. It must be understood by each and every word, sentence, example that you people are going to select. It should be understandable to your audience. So that care you people have to take care that it should be simple language. And consider the objective of presentation. So what is objective of presentation? Why am I giving this presentation? What is the purpose of delivering this presentation? You should be clear with it. If you don't know the purpose, if you don't know the objective, you maybe somehow you are going to give your presentation. But if you're clear with the goal or objective, just try to understand that your goal or objective, will consider it as a goal. So everything has a purpose, everything has a goal. So right now you people are attending my lecture. So if I ask why, there is some goal, there is some purpose that is there, and you have to understand, realize this goal. So why you are giving this presentation, you have to make it clear, and accordingly you just think of the language. The next point you consider, and this is time which is allotted to you. Usually it will not be that you are getting time as much as you wanted, but there are certain restrictions of time as well. And you consider how much time is given to you. It may be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, something like this. So you stuck to the time. You do not exceed more than given time. If it is 1 hour, 5 minutes might be here and there, might be less and more, but you should not extend it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes more than allotted time. Okay. And then next is level of audience. So what do you mean by level of audience? You just think of your audience. For your audience, their background, I mean their educational background, their social background, cultural background, and their age category, which age this audience belongs to, and then their grasping power, their understanding power. Accordingly, you just plan your presentation, and related to such things, related factors also you just consider when you're planning your presentation. Okay, so are you clear with planning? Is there any question that you wanted to ask me? Is there anything that you wanted to ask me about planning? Reply someone. If it is clear, if voice is clear, everything is fine for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that only you are responding, other people. There are 3, 4, 5 students in your class who are usually reply. And I'm sure that you people are active, you're listening and you're understanding. But I'm not sure that what other all people. I can see here almost 64 students are here in right now who have connected to me right now. But see that it is very difficult if you are not active, if you are not listening, if you are not understanding, it will be very difficult. So do not do this. If you really do not understand, you have every right to ask me. That's the we are not understanding. And you can have different questions for me also. So that will be happy. I will be happy if you are asking some questions. But if you're still connected, and I'm taking feedback of again 3, 4, 5 students are there who are active, and they're saying yes, they're saying no, they're answering some questions which I have asked, and you people are not maybe just neglecting. Let teacher is teaching, let him teach. Others are responding, let them respond, and we have nothing to do. And you might be busy simultaneously, because right now I don't have any control over you. What you're doing simultaneously, you might be watching Facebook, WhatsApp, or what you're doing, I don't know. Where you're sitting, I don't know. You may be choosing a quiet and calm place, or you might be in front of TV, or you may be in a noisy place, or you're chatting with your family members. What do you do? I don't have control, but don't do this. I will only suggest only. I can suggest only right now. Don't do this and be active. And because uh, this time is very important. If you are just doing such things that you're connecting only for the sake of attendance, you're wasting the important valuable time, and that time is not going to come back. And output is nothing. Important thing is output is nothing. So you're showing to your teachers, your parents, that you're attending classes, but practically, do you think that how much you're getting out of it? Practically, have you thought that what you're exactly how it is resulting in your personality and how it is going to help you professionally? So I think that you people are quite mature now, and you will think, you'll ask yourself that is it right, is it wrong, and if it is right, will absolutely follow. And if your conscience says that it is not right, then you have to change. You have to think in a different way. Okay, let it be. Let's come to the next point, and we people will just go to preparation now. So how to prepare? First of all, first stage, first point that you people have to gather required information related to topic from authentic sources. Okay, as per objective and need of presentation. So you people are now required a lot of information which you people are going to deliver it in your presentation. So from where you are going to collect all those information, you are going to collect it from authentic sources. So what do you mean by authentic sources, and which are they? First of all, tell me what do you mean by authentic sources? Something is authentic means what? So people have to reply. If you don't know, you just tell me, sir, we don't know. You can send me message also. I can read your chat box also. So you can say yes, sir, no, sir, we don't know, sir. That kind of responses should be there. You if you're just keeping calm, keeping silent, it will be of no use. So then I think that I am wasting my time if you're not responding at all.
Source
Yes, source is, but what
Source
kind
where
of?
we can get 100% correct information.
Yes, right information. Information in which we can believe, we can trust, and probably it is going to be true. Such sources can be authentic sources. So let me tell you example. If it is WhatsApp, you are collecting information or any messages that you are receiving on your WhatsApp and you're taking it in your presentation, will it be authentic source?
No,
No,
it's
it
not.
will not be, because what you're coming on WhatsApp may not be true. Lots of times they are just forwarded, copy pasted, and rumors are there. So we cannot believe, we cannot trust on such information. So authentic sources can be books, some books which are of renowned writers, famous publications are there. It can be newspapers. Yes, newspapers can be also authentic sources. It can be websites, some websites again that where you can rely on, you can believe, trust on. So based on this, you just collect information from different sources like internet, like maybe videos also you can take from YouTube or other sources, or you can see some magazines, journals, and some papers are there. You can rely on them also, but you consider that what is objective of your presentation, and accordingly you people just collect information. The next step will come that whatever the information that you have collected, are you going to put all those information as it is? No, you're not going to put as it is. So what you will do, you will not finalize the material as per the requirement of content. So what your images that you have downloaded from internet, not all images will be useful for you. So you'll select that, should I enter this image? Yes, I will enter this. Should I enter this quotation? Yes, this is useful, I will add this. Then is it necessary? I think that this is not useful, or this is irrelevant here, so I will not use this. So what you are doing here, you are finalizing the material which you have collected from these authentic sources. Okay, then next step will come here, that you are going to arrange this information in a logical sequence. So what will be the logical sequence? Now you have to think that whatever the material you have finalized, out of this you are not going to finalize. So with sequence, so first of all I will do this, at second number this kind of concept, at third I will stuck this image here, at number fourth I will add this quotation, and finally this will be like this. So what you're doing here, you are making it a sequence, and this sequence is logical sequence. Logical sequence, it means that there should be a kind of link or connection. So it seems there is a flow, first, second, third, right, like this, and at the end you are mentioning something like this. Okay, then next step will be that divide lengthy content under subhead. So what happened at this stage, you found that this whatever you have collected here at point number 3, it maybe you think that this is very complicated and very lengthy also, and I think that my audience may not be able to understand it. So what should I do? I'm going to divide it into two types. So suppose that if there is one concept, I'm going to divide it into short. So I'm going to divide into types. If there are types, I will divide like that. If it is concept, I will break it down. If it is sentence, I will make it short. So this way, I'm going to divide this lengthy content, complicated content into short, into simple, and into subtypes. So this way I can do this because it will make you simple for delivering, as well as it will be simple for your audience to understand as well. Okay. Then next thing you'll consider that use correct and simple vocabulary considering the audience grasping capacity and background. Okay, so already we have discussed about this, that when you're trying to making your content and you are thinking of the sentences, you keep it simple vocabulary, that the words which will be simple for you as well as for your audience. And next thing, that your audience grasping capacity as well. That's why I have told that you people have to analyze your audience, which age category they belong, what is their cultural background, or their social background, what is their educational background. So something that you have to consider while making the sentences and vocabulary, all those things you people have to consider here. The next is be precise while developing content. So be precise means be short. It should not be very much lengthy, or it should not be that you have made a PPT and in PPT that you have mentioned paragraph after paragraph. In fact, on PPTs you have to write down only points only. There should not be any kind of lengthy paragraphs, not allowed. So be precise, be short while you are developing your content. The next is formulate the questions to be asked during presentation delivery. They're very important. You have to ask questions to your audience. And again, why you're asking questions? To check their knowledge? No, you're not checking their knowledge. You wanted to make it interactive. You wanted to develop your interpersonal skills. You wanted to check whether your audience with you, whether they're alert, whether they're active, whether they're listening. So therefore you formulate certain questions to ask them. And questions again should be simple. They should be factual. They should be yes no type questions, where they're going to say no or something like this. So such kind of questions you people have to frame. So if it is 1 hour, frame at least 10 questions, so that you are going to ask them after maybe every 5 to 6 minutes you are going to ask them a question. So certain questions you just frame in advance. Don't think that at 11th hour you will ask something to them, so it will not happen. So frame such questions. Then we people will go to the next. Here the people are going to again think. If you're going to start, usually start with some quotations or statement of the great people which are related to the content. Okay, sometimes we people like to listen the great people like Swami Vivekananda is there, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is there, or the any leaders are there, or Abraham Lincoln is there, Indian or foreigner, any from everywhere. Those you think can motivate you, those you think they can motivate your audience. You people try to follow them, try to find out their quotations, their statements, and if they're related to your content, then immediately put it into your presentation, and you can use their quotations and statements. It will be very effective, and it will create impact on your audience. The next is edit content carefully. Once you have finalized everything and you have just put the things, then you just edit it, because whatever you have done, it may not be final. There might be some mistakes, that sentence, grammar, correction, spelling, and everything you people have to look. So therefore you edit your content carefully, and check that there are no any kind of mistakes, everything is okay. So therefore edit it carefully. Prepare PowerPoint presentation based on content. So only making PowerPoint presentation is not the presentation, but you have to consider everything that we people have discussed so far. And then if you finalize your everything, then make PPTs here based on the content that you have finalized. The next is finalize the attire for presentation as per standard and type of organization. So you tell me, what is attire? What is attire? Do you know the meaning of attire? If you know, you just tell me. If you don't know, you people can check it into dictionary and tell me. So I think that you people need to improve your vocabulary also. So every day, minimum 5 words, new words you people have to check into dictionary.
Dress.
Yes, dress, you're
Or
right.
formal dressing.
Yes, yes, all you people are right. That uh, dress or clothes or the way of appearance that matters here. So you have to finalize anything that you would like to say. Okay, fine. You're going to finalize everything now as far as your content is ready, but now you're ready for your presentation, and for that you have to be formal. It should not be that you're wearing something like jeans or t-shirts or casuals or party wears. No, you people have to be formal. So you have to choose a formal dress and don't try something new on that day. It should be your usual dress, and it should be clean, ironed, and you should feel comfortable and confident in that dress. Such a dress you people have to choose for presentation, and because you are giving presentation and it is formal. Okay, so you think of your dress also and your appearance also, that your hairstyle, as far as people, male, you should cut your hair, then your beard, it should be trimmed or it should be clean shave. If you are females, your hairstyle, and then your jewelry and your cost, maybe makeup and all those things you people have to consider. Accessories like belt and shoes and something like this, all this you people have to think of here, because your appearance and your that way of living formal and simple, that will be important here. Okay, then we'll go to the last point of this P. This is design the feedback form in a simple way, keeping limited questions. So what is feedback form? So once you have finished your presentation, you are asking to your audience, how was your presentation? In fact, you're not asking them orally. There is a feedback form that you're circulating. If it is printed form, you're going to be ready with printouts and you're going to circulate those printouts to your audience, and you're taking feedback of these audience about your presentation. How was it? How was the content, then how was the presenter's knowledge, confidence, then the are you satisfied with this presentation, something like this. You can add some questions and you can give them the chances. It was poor, uh, satisfied, good, excellent, something like this. Options you people have to give, and you people have to collect those feedback forms. So can anybody tell why we should take feedback, why feedback forms are important?
for our improvement.
Yes, once again, because I'm not audible. What you said?
For the improvement of speaker or who is giving presentation.
Okay. So you people have to understand ki how you're doing, because from my side I feel that I'm doing very nice. I'm giving very nice presentation. This is from my side, but from audience side, if they are not thinking the presentation was good, it's of no use. So therefore you are taking feedback from your audience, and if there is any suggestions that you can improve, suppose that the content was not effective, so you are going to improve your content. Suppose that someone give feedback that your voice was not audible, so next time you can take care that I will speak louder so that my audience will be clear. So if any suggestion for your improvement, so therefore you people have to take feedback, because there will be some kind of or there will be some scope for your improvement, and next time you can improve that mistakes that you might have done in previous. So you can design such feedback form, but keep limited questions there. Okay, so thank you for responding, Yash. Then we people will go to the next C, that is practice now. So now here very important. The most of people feel nervousness before and during presentation. Okay, this is fact. That many people, whatever they have done, but still they feel that how am I going to deliver my presentation, and if I got stuck, if I do not understand something, if any question is asked from audience and I'm not able to answer it, then what happen? If I make some mistakes, grammar mistakes, then what will happen? If people will laugh at me, they will ridicule me, and some self-limiting questions they come into your mind, and it causes fear, it causes nervousness. And if you feel that there is fear, if you are nervous during or before presentation, you have to consider only one source over it, one solution over it, that practice is an ultimate key to successful presentation. So what you have to do, you have to practice it. Before final delivery, you deliver it in front of your friends, in front of your family members, in front of mirror. You can stand and try to deliver your presentation, and what will happen, it will boost your confidence. Okay, so therefore practice before you are giving your final presentation. You practice it once, twice, thrice, whatever time is available for you, you practice it. So prepare the content thoroughly. So whatever you have done, you have to go through it thoroughly. The presenter must have clarity about all basic concepts. Again, whatever the topic that you have chosen, you should be very clear about all basic concepts of that topic. And if any question is going to be asked and you're not able to answer that, again, it will not be a good impression. So you should know all basic concepts of that topic. If any doubt about any point or concept, presenter should get it clear from authentic sources. If you think that at some point of your presentation, if any question is going to be there, and if you're not sure about the answer, you just make it clear, find its answer from authentic sources, from books, websites, or whatever the references that you have used. You try to be clear with all those things. Okay, so we'll think of now presentation or performance. So what you can do here with performance. So this will be your final stage of delivery that you people can think of. So presenter should stand straight, stare, and take control of audience. Okay. What do you mean? Right now you're going to start your presentation. So you're on stage. So you have to stand straight there. Don't take help of podium. Don't take help of any dais or something like this, or chair. Don't stand behind chair or dais or something like this. You have to stand in middle of the stage and stare at audience, and then take control of your audience. What do you mean by take control? You try to attract their attention as you're going to start. Give introduction in short if it is not given by the host. So think of you that if it is given by the host, it is okay, don't need to give. But if you are going to start abruptly, the audience will think, who is this person and what is he talking about? So therefore it is necessary that in short, you try to give your brief introduction, then open up presentation with courteous and sincere thanks to organization and organizing committee, because they have given you chance, opportunity to present your presentation. So therefore give thanks to the organization and organizing committee. Develop positive attitude by paying compliments to audience. So what do you mean by paying compliments? You have to praise them, because they will be happy and they will pay attention to your presentation. So your example is given like this: I always love to interact with a dynamic and energetic audience. So by if you're saying like this, your audience will really feel energetic and they will again dynamic and they will enthusiastic to listen you. So therefore pay compliments to your audience. The objective of presentation has to be made clear initially. So that is very clear to you, as well as you make it clear to your audience why you are giving this presentation. What is purpose of delivering this presentation? You make it clear to your audience. Create the curiosity among the audience, keeping the facts and figures related to the importance of topic. So you can create interest, you can create curiosity to your audience by collecting some facts and figures which is related to your topic. So give preview of content in short. So there should be one slide which is showing that in today's talk what I'm going to talk about. So usually it is first of all introduction, then something like this, then your presentation, and at the end there is conclusion. So such kind of preview you have to prepare in one slide, and you give that preview to your audience. Deliver presentation with humility. Humility, it means that you have to be humble, polite. You don't try to be arrogant and egoist. You don't behave that you know everything. Don't try to show your attitude, because audience will simply neglect you if you are just showing that I know everything and what I means everything is right. It should not be. So you have to be humble, you have to be polite, and people try to deliver in such way. Don't express the content as it is memorized. It should be natural and spontaneous. So prepare, because you need to spend more time for preparation, then it will not be like a memorized. But if you are not prepared well, then it will seem, audience will understand that you have memorized it, and it will not be effective. How it should be? It should be natural and spontaneous. It means that you are giving it that you have that all things are on your tip, not you are just trying to memorize something here. Don't feel panic though any point is missed out. Maintain the flow of delivery. So at some point it may happen that you might have missed some point and you have forgotten it, but at later stage you realize that you have missed, and because of this you are maybe confused or you are hesitating, you are not maintaining the flow next what you're going to say. So don't be panic, you just try to be natural and continue remaining flow of your presentation. Then whatever questions that you have prepared, you ask them at regular interval. Then pay attention to your body language as well, because only words will not convey everything. You have to show your body language by using eye contact. So how you are going to maintain eye contact? You have to look at the audience, all audience. It should not be that a particular audience you are looking for. You have to maintain eye contact with your all audience. Also use your gesture, posture, your facial expressions. There should be a smile on your face, and some kind of hand gestures you have to use when you are presenting, because it adds extra meaning to the words. So try to use your whole body for communication. Maintain smile and cheerful expression that I just told you. Again, important that your voice. We have studied about presentation, pronunciation, tone, and voice, etc. So you need to attract the attention of your audience by maintaining the tone of your voice, rising tone, falling tone, and sometimes you wanted to attract the audience attention, lower your volume or increase your volume, emphasize on some words. Okay, use simple and relevant example to explain the content. So people have to think of some examples that you are going to uh, tell to your audience. Narrate a story or anecdote in context with content which creates interest among audience. Everybody likes to listen story, from kids to elders, from everybody likes listen story. So you just try to tell the stories to your people, because it will create interest to your audience. Handle the questions honestly. So if any question is asked by your audience, you have to you have to tell the answer rightly. And if you don't know the answer, accept it, admit it. Sorry, I don't have any idea about this question. I will try to find more information and I will answer you back later on. Don't try to make fool the audience, because they know, or they will just think that you are just trying to make them fool. Okay, so say no if you don't know, if you don't know the answer. Appreciate the audience who answers. So you have to say that nice answer, very good, it was nice attempt, and try to pay compliments to the audience for asking questions and for answering questions. Again, take care about the time which is allotted to you. It should not be more than your given time. Do not hand over any written material meant for audience during presentation. So any printouts that you wanted to hand over to your audience, don't hand over these printouts during presentation. Why? Because your audience will keep them reading and they will not pay attention to your presentation. You can hand over them after your presentation. Okay. Conclude your presentation with same enthusiasm and positive thanksgiving note. So you should be again energetic and enthusiastic, the same you were in the beginning, and you should conclude your presentation with positive thanksgiving note. So you should again thank that everyone, to your audience also, to organizer and organizing committee as well. And whatever the feedback form that you have prepared, you have to take feedback of your presentation, so that you'll understand, is there any scope for your improvement, is there anything that audience wanted to be from you. Okay, so that was all about presentation skills. And here I expect that all you people will make one presentation. Topics you people choose whatever you like, and uh, you just make at least 8 to 10 slides and make one ppt, and you can send it to me. Remaining any difficulties will think in next class, or will in next class we people will be with another second unit that will be of group discussion. I have to take attendance here, so let me know if roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is not there. So am I clear with roll number 11 is absent? Okay, just one. Then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is not there. 16 absent. Then 17, 18, 19 is also not there. 20, 21 is not there. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, then 31, 32, 33, 34 is not there. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67 is not there. 68 is also not there. 69, 70, 71. So option numbers for today's class: roll number 11, 16, 19, 21, 34.
21 present.
सर 16 आहे की
I
आहे
Sir,
की 16.
21.
35.
just
So,
wait 1 minute. 16 is there. Okay, 16 is present.
21.
21 is also present.
One.
Okay, fine. What about 67 and 68? They're not there.
68 present, sir. 68.
68 is there. Okay, so 67 is not there. Okay, fine. So option numbers only few, that 11, then 19, and 67. Okay, fine. No deadline. You can take your time. You can just you can take 1 week, or as per your convenience. It is not immediately tomorrow or in 4 days I want. You can take your time, and you can prepare a nice PPT. And delivering a PPT, we'll just think based on time. If we are getting more time, we'll think of delivery of that presentation. But first of all you just make the presentation as well. So okay, thank you for joining today with this. Should I end this meeting from my side?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for joining today.